Money Ross, aka Flex Man Ross in the building. Actually, today I actually want to talk about a little something. And I really want to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. And maybe I can persuade a now racist person towards black people to think a little different. And so I'm just going to give y'all my perception of what it is. Oh yeah, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. And for flex shows or anything like that, any kind of custom shows, any kind of affiliate marketing that you maybe want to talk about, or maybe you just want to support your boy or whatever. Please get at me. I'm trying to get into teaching people how to get in shape like this, whether it's fitness advice, nutritional advice, or just you want to call me and maybe get on the phone and try to follow my schedule, my workouts of the day. I can do that for you. So if you have the nutritional and motivational and just educational personal training, I do that. And the videos, man, I can get on Skype with anybody and flex or whatever you need me to do. So, okay, with that out the way, get ready. Because we're talking about Black Lives Matter today. Alright, so Black Lives Matter, we already know this. Us niggas have been, for lack of a better term, us African Americans have been going through this for hundreds of years. And it seems like white people don't want to hear the bullshit. And the most frustrating thing is fighting against somebody that you feel like should have your back. And that's what racism is. That's what it feels like to be the black guy. You feel like you've done nothing wrong. You feel like you were just born and you're walking around with this color. And now people are literally hating on you because you're alive. That's the worst feeling. I feel like the war on drugs is a big deal, a big part of it. And so the way I see it is, after these hundreds, or after however long it was, I can't even tell you the number of everybody being racist, and all the African Americans being slaves and shit. Finally, a political leader gets involved and motherfucking releases us. But that doesn't change white people's tendency towards African Americans. So, and the only reason y'all let us go is because of the industrial age, and instead of paying us to work and making y'all rich, it would literally be bad for y'all to make us work, because then less jobs for the white people. So what do? Y'all find the suburbs of y'all's already built cities that were built on the backs of us African Americans, by the way. And y'all build cheap, unrealistic poverty spots, which are now called projects, or called, apartments. And y'all make them as cheap as possible, as small as possible, and very, very minimal living is what it is. And y'all shoved us all there and left us there. And then, to get the in shape black African man out of the way, so he's not stealing your jobs, y'all invented welfare. So the black person would be more prone to have to pay child support because he can't support his child because he can't get a job, because the white people don't want that to happen. So then, you know what I'm saying, you got the mom trying to work and getting welfare, but then y'all persecute us for not being able to work and calling us lazy when we're the ones that built America. You get what I'm saying? And then, yeah, it's not fair, the whole situation. So y'all got us in these now group homes in poverty-stricken areas, and this is what I meant by the war on drugs. I'm trying to keep it all in one sentence, not one sentence, but one line of how this is all seems to have happened. So after putting us in the projects and inventing welfare and all this other shit, y'all figured out a new way to come and kind of produce money, and that is by locking people up, especially African Americans. So after placing us in this poverty-stricken situation, y'all come through and y'all drop the drugs off. Literally, I forgot, the political leader who did for America make an agreement with whomever. I'm not 100% on who that is, but agreed to bring drugs into the country. So after bringing the drugs into the country, y'all strictly dropped them in front of the most poverty-stricken areas around the country, which was predominantly what? You can guess it, African Americans. So we can't get a job because the white people don't want us to get a job. We got we got police records or whatever, so we can't work literally. So now, and then you bring these drugs into the situation, which are addicting to whomever is taking them. So, what is the black man going to do now in this poverty-stricken situation with drugs dropped off on his face? He's going to sell drugs. Okay, so what does the drugs bring? It's going to bring fast money, and it's going to bring violence, and it's going to bring a pyramid scheme within, because everything's based off a pyramid scheme, businesses, real life, whatever. It's going to produce a pyramid scheme of the gang leaders and people who want to take over the gang leaders and rival gangs. You know what I'm saying? That's what gang banging is. Whose territory is whose? But it's all one small territory, so it's going to be a lot of violence and a lot of disruption. So, there you go. So now we're selling drugs, we're gang banging, and trying to have our own political war inside of another political war. And so then it ends up with black people having felonies and being in this, stuck in the system. It's the system fucking us. Because then what are we going to do when we're released? We can't go to McDonald's and provide for our family. It's not going to work. And plus, it ain't fair because you got the white people driving around with boats and big old jacked up trucks and Mercedes and shit like that. We're supposed to be eating noodles every night. You know what I'm saying? So then, you get that. So police are after us. So then you develop all these African Americans that from birth are watching the generation before literally tote blocks, sell drugs, and you have all these mental diseases like ADHD, PTSD, trauma, all kinds of shit, and they're more predominantly prone to be violent because that's all they know. They're not educated enough to know that every situation or altercation doesn't need to be handled with a gun or doesn't need to be handled with violence per se. And they don't have the education to go out and pursue what's supposed to be in our Constitution, which is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So you end up with African Americans, young African Americans, boy or girl, pursuing literally survival. And so at the bottom, as a survivor, what are you going to do? And when you're starving, and you cannot get a job, whether it's mental disorder or just born into poverty, what are you going to do? More than likely, you're either going to be mad and end up in jail, or you're going to do something illegal, or you're going to get into it with the police, whatever, or you're going to die unless somebody comes through and helps you and educates you on how to live like a white person. You get what I'm saying? So that's just my spill on it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. And I think y'all set us up from failure from the get-go. I think it's bullshit. And I hope there's a young African-American man who maybe never heard somebody put it down like that, or a white guy that's never heard somebody put it down like that. In the whole grand scheme of things of why there's this war and there's this hate between the whites and the blacks. But that's how it is, and it's not right, it's not fair, it's bullshit. You know, I mean, because if you think about it, I hate to say it, but if it was survival of the fittest, like, you know what I'm saying, who's hunting the most, who's killing the most, who's the most physically and mentally strong, I feel like the African American race would win by far. But no, the laws and all that good shit are in place to keep the black man down. And that's just a sad thing. If you disagree with me, I'll quit ranting. But just comment and tell me why. If you do agree with me, comment why you agree with me. And just let me know what y'all think. And I appreciate y'all for listening to my little spill on that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm trying to get my personal trainer certification and all that good shit. So please, if you can't support me, if you can't fuck with me, or you just want to buy a video, whatever, please get on here and fuck with me.